Live. Happy Women's Day again. And I'm just going to invite our. They are in. They are working professionals. And hello there, Suji. They are not just working professionals. They're highly qualified. And while entering, hello there.
Hello.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are visible, audible. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank
So, Rushi here, and I think even Suchi is dialing in.
you. Yeah, I can see it.
So, these powerhouse women are not only a working professional, but they're highly
Am I on?
qualified, educated, not only empowering themselves or also empowering other women around them. Hello, Suji, welcome.
Hi.
What's that?
She said a very happy
Very
day to all
happy
of us,
day to
Oh,
you.
to all our viewers.
super. Yes, and happy Women's Day. I know it's not yet over. The entire month we're going to celebrate the womanhood, and here we are to insist and to recognize certain unique strengths that we as a woman have in us, and we don't value them and recognize them on a regular basis. So this occasion could be one way to know each other's strengths and also be able to celebrate each other's resilience, that inner power, and that endurance, that unique strength of endurance, which makes us who we are. And also touching upon, um, the concept is EQ talks with empowering women who are already empowered. And emotional intelligence is the uh, emotions doesn't need language, it doesn't need boundaries. It shapes us who we are in our daily lives, and we as a woman who are the carrier of emotions, right? So it is essential that we need to understand what kind of emotions are we going through during our struggles, during our achievements, during our nurturing and thriving. And so we will touch upon few areas about that too. And now I want to let people know that my audience and also your audience know that this theme is to let these women talk more about their personal stories, their struggles and achievements, and also give us some powerful strategies. So we'll let you go only after we squeeze them. Okay, get the maximum juice out of these people because it's hard to get all these empowered women at one place. Okay, so let's use this opportunity to the maximum. And we do have a lot of women from across world joining for this particular theme, and our audience are also that way. So we're going to say a quick hi to people who have already joined. Ram, hi Sai. Varun, hi. Goyal Aditya. Gopal
Gopal.
Krishna Mahesh. Okay,
Rithanya is here. Hi, Rithanya. Hi, Santosh. Hi, Gopal. Hi, Varun.
awesome.
Some of
Awesome.
the here.
Manu boy, Halwa Puri. Look at it, Halwa Puri. Okay, Santos
Oh,
Murugan.
hi. I
Very
recognize
good.
you. It's amazing.
You recognize them? Okay. Somewhere, I'm not, your voice is breaking, Arushi.
Is it? Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Now it's okay, but. And then Shiva Simeti, hello, all the way from US. Trisha Goyal. Hello there, Shiva. Thank you so much. Santosh Murugan. Okay, Santosh is saying, hi, Arushi, you're an awesome trainer. Woo, look at that. You've not even started. Huh?
I- I'm very
Super.
grateful for so many people joining, so many friends,
Amazing. Hi,
family, and
everyone.
acquaintances in walks of life. And I just want to, before we begin, first of all, I would like to thank Brinda for taking up this, initiative to bring women together and celebrate womanhood. Because it takes initiative, it takes certain amount of courage to actually take initiative and make something happen that can benefit humankind. And second thing I would like to add is while we're celebrating women, the one more thing in this aspect is this talk is not just for women, it's for men also, it's for males, to know that, to give you an insight on how women work, and just the core of it, and also how you can be better supporters, and become the kind of feminist that can, it's not just that, it's not really about putting one above the other, it's about equality, and how men can be more fruitful in that aspect, and they can be proud of themselves in that aspect too. So
Whoa.
yeah.
Wow, thank you for that introduction too, and thank you so much. I know it's I mean, it's just a thought to do something on Instagram. I didn't have a courage to do something live, one on individually. So I thought I'll club my friends to gain some confidence. But then it just snowballed into a different concept now, right? All of us who are doing this particular live always have felt at the end of it, it's not about Insta live, it's about that experience, that joy of doing this,
Yeah.
right? I hope we will also have that kind of a ride today. And thank you, Arushi. Super. So I'm going to say, okay, Shiva is saying, hello, 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 ladies, great energy. Thank you, Shiva. Rupal Goyal. Super. Okay, I'm going to have a, a lot of work as a host, also engaging the audience. I think it's only because there are two powerhouse women. Before I spill out what you guys do, I want you to introduce yourself in a very short few words, and also with a powerful bang as to what do you guys do.
Okay, Suji, do you want to take the baton this time?
Anybody?
Thank you, Anu. Thank you so much. So, hey everyone, it's Suji here from India, and I am an emotional and financial well-being coach for single working mothers. And it's been a journey of coaching, healing for over 11 plus years right now. And the journey started with me healing myself, working on myself, meeting myself at the most ugliest place and bringing myself out from there, having that courage to stand up for myself and express myself and just allow myself to just feel how I felt. It could have been hurtful, it could have been insulting, it could have been humiliating, but it was a journey which was really tough. And it took a good amount of time, and then I realized that there could be many other women who are going through a lot more, where maybe I become, the supporting light to show them what it means to work together, what it means to stand up for each other. Yeah, I'm right here for all of us. And I think as women, when we stand up for ourselves, I totally second what Dr. Arushi was mentioning, that, it's not just the woman who learns then it's also everyone around her. It could be the men, it could be the children, it could be everyone who watch and grow along. So we are not just doing things for ourselves, but for the
Awesome.
humankind, for
Very
the
well said.
nature,
Thank
for every living
you.
being around
You
us.
go, Arshi.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Arushi Goyal. I am an MBBS doctor, so medical doctor that is, and I am a success coach for doctors. So my journey into coaching has started very recently. I'm from the 2017 batch of MBBS, so I've been in the medicine space for like 7 years. But I've been someone who's focused on my personal development since school. But of late, like after having lived through MBBS, after attempts at my at a postgraduate entrance, and I realized that there was something within me that was just not agreeing for that next step. I'm not saying I'm giving up on that, but I realized why that happened, and that's because the healthcare system on its own is basically crumbling. There is so much burnout in doctors. There is such a work life imbalance, and there is so much, and there's not enough proper. So kids are trained to study. They're told that you have to study, you have to become good doctors by studying. Like that's the principal point of entirety of MBBS. But no one teaches you how to do life when you the transition is so major. And as a result, the doctors we have today, especially the residents, they're so burnt out and they're so tired. I mean, if any of my friends are watching this right now and they can tell us in the comments or just share just a hi or say yes, because there will be people out there who relate. There's so much burnout, and patients as a result also suffer. Doctors suffer, patients suffer, and all in all, it's like a lose-lose situation. No one benefits. That is why I came into this, because I've realized this is my calling in life. I want to go out there. I want to change this. I want to transform this. I want the healthcare system to be better for everyone. And I'm starting that journey out with students, training them how to live their lives in the peak powerful way that benefits them the most and they can give back the most. So that's me.
Awesome. Super. So, in essence, Dr. Arushi is already a practitioner of general
Yeah.
physician, right? And then she's also stepping foot into the coaching industry as a success coach for doctors
Yes.
specifically, right? Goes to girls and boys,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes. I am
All
definitely.
right. So, and Suji, Dr. Suji Nair is also a coach for emotional and financial well-being. Any specific audience, Suji? There we go. Okay.
Yes, I
Nice.
cater to the
Very
single
nice. And you
working
know what?
mothers.
There's a common thing of being, if I have to mention your name, both of you have this doctor before you,
Yeah.
right? That says it all in respect of your field, and also the way that you want to empower yourself, and so you are empowering other women around you. On that note, I think even Arushi had already had started with. I was going to ask you this question, but then since you have given us a bit of why you're doing what you're doing, so my follow-up question for you is, Arushi, give me a. Let's go one step deep to understand. Despite of being in the medicine, like you said, the keywords that I keep hearing is burnout, and that's the killer I'm also working, against.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a bigger vision, there is a mission to attain that vision. So I'm also teaching women not to get into that burnout stage using emotional intelligence as a tools. So now, in that essence, we do find some common ground. And tell us one story or one incident or one area in your life. It could be from your childhood or teenager or during your academics or even now. Is there any one area that you felt um, emotionally drained or self-doubted, deep bottom of lowest self-esteem as an individual, right? And it could be an area from anywhere, like on your during your career building or relationship or individual growth, personal growth.
Definitely. Actually, when you say it like that, there's actually a bunch of stories that come to my
I
mind.
know
But I believe all of us have multiples of those.
stories
But
in the interest of
yeah,
time, and
yeah,
Instagram has its own algorithm,
yeah.
so we'll also
So
yeah
since there's a lot of
be
here and a lot of men here and a lot of doctors and future doctors in this audience also, so I'll share the one from my internship. So as an MBBS, not a graduate, when you're studying MBBS, 1 year internship is compulsory before you get your degree. And there was a phase in my internship I remember. So I like you can't choose your internship groups, you can't choose your postings, all of that is pre-designed for you. And the group I got, I wasn't the happiest with it because I wasn't on good terms. Like I didn't really know anyone, but I wasn't very fond of anyone either. At the same time, I realized, so I have always been someone who has always loved to absorb knowledge, work on, like work and learn and all that process. But I found myself constantly surrounded, like again surrounded by people who were looking for an easy way out. And so like they would be like, okay, what's the easiest way to get out of duty, or what's the easiest way to finish off here and not have to work anymore. And the person who started out the internship, who was so willing to learn, that the postgraduates were like, I'm letting you chill, why are you not chilling? That person herself was by the middle or somewhere towards the end, like, 3/4 down the internship. I was so drained. I was so burnt out, like, genuine, like, my burnout, like I was crying my eyes out every single day in my internship, to the point I was in my favorite post, and I had to leave and run back home just to, reset my brain. Reset, like, I was just like, this is too much. I just doubted every single thing. And this is when I knew I could do so well in that internship. I could do so well for the cases I was seeing. And this particular is not really, we were also, there was, at that time, our entire seniority was all males. There weren't females in that particular phase for me. And I believe somewhere there, there was a loss in that sensitivity also, for anyone to understand that, okay, a student, a woman or not, a student can go through a phase where they need a little extra time off, a little, a break, or maybe if they're not turning up, if they're not giving their 100%, maybe the issue is deeper than them being lazy. So
Absolutely.
that phase, I mean, I will never forget it. I had to, like, I took a month's break just so that, I could feel like myself again, and, turn up for work again without feeling the whole pressure of it. And I believe the most important thing, I mean, I believe that incident, not incident, but like that entire phase is kind of the reason I'm here doing this. Because because of that pain and that struggle, that's what taught me that, okay, there is a problem, and I'm definitely not the only one having a problem like this. Because even the person who was senior to me, even they were struggling of their own accord, like they had their own thing, probably bigger stuff than me to deal with. And that's why I really believe this work life balance, this, peak performance, this mindset optimization is so important for every doctor out there.
And
So that
and
that's
how did you overcome that?
I overcame that by taking a break, as I said. So, and I believe this is the most underrated thing out there, like, not just in medicine, anywhere, the hustle culture is so strong these days that no one really teaches us that breaks are necessary. And what is the right kind of a break, sometimes
Mm,
mental health, I want a weekend off. It's not just doing a weekend off, it's about optimizing your break so that, you can have the right kind of weekend. So when you go back,
absolutely.
you're not like, you're like, okay, I'm in. Let's see what this week brings. Let's see what I can do. Or let's see what my where my 100% goes. So that's the, like, taking a break was what helped. Having a good supportive family and friends, people to talk to have the room to be myself and really express what went wrong with me. That helped. And when I came back, stronger than ever. Loved it on a very high note.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. I know it's pretty deep, and when you even recap, right, we go and touch that frequency and come back, right? So, so key words is the problem was burnout, physically, mentally, and then you overcome using mindful breaks,
Yes,
right?
that's very
So it could be, yeah, it could be not getting onto the gadgets again, but
yes.
it's like sharing with your, near and dear, and just finding some peace away from your routine is something that would definitely help. Lovely. Thank you so much. I'll just come back to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, you have something to add,
I was
Arishi?
saying
Yeah.
this one small part in this mindful breaks is being in touch with yourself to understand what is it that you truly enjoy. Picking up a
Mm,
gadget is very easy, but that's not the most fulfilling way to have
mm,
some time off. So
I
that
know.
that kind of mindfulness is very important for anyone going forward. Just knowing that, okay, I like dancing, so I'm gonna take the hard step right now and not pick up my phone, and I'm gonna play some music and just dance my heart out if that's what makes you
Absolutely.
happy. So something like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So self-reflection can also be one of the mindful break, right?
Yeah.
We sometimes we don't have time to step out, we don't have time, that energy to, do something new. It's best to find your hobby, whatever is easy for you, and then just align yourself, your energy, time, focus there so that you take off the routine and then you take that mindful break. Lovely. Thank you, Arishi. Thank you so much.
Much. Yeah.
Suji. Thank you, Suji. Go ahead.
So for me, there has been a good amount of situations which helped me mold myself. One of them, I would say, was the journey into motherhood. When I started my motherhood journey, it was especially after the delivery phase, the postpartum. It has been a journey which was quite difficult because I didn't have much support from my family side due to different reasons. And I had to work it out all by myself, let it be managing child, uh, nursing, cooking, cleaning, doing up the house chores, and taking care of the other family members also. So when I was going through all this phase, I had to literally leave my job. And I thought it was just for, 6 months, and then what next? How would I go about it? But because I really wanted to enjoy this time with my little one. It was my first journey into motherhood. So I was super excited. And at the same time, I never knew what is holding inside it as days are unfolding. And as the journey kept happening 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, it became so much draining that you are like playing multiple characters. You become the cook, you become the maid, you become the nanny, you become the helper, you become the grocery person, going and getting things. And I was literally getting rained out in everything that I'm doing. And it also reached a stage where I used to produce less milk for my baby. And that was frustrating me even more to the core. And the pediatrician, what she said was, you need to stay happy. You need to stay more present with yourself. And if you go on like this, it's going to impact the baby because everything is biochemical. So that hit me so hard because I wasn't prepared for it. I didn't have any prior knowledge about it. I didn't have anyone to guide me through it, but it was all me working with myself. And I had to literally go deep down and understand, like how Arushi also mentioned, that it's all about connecting deeper with yourself. And when I could do that, I usually practice meditation, and I do it like 10, 15, 20 minutes based on the little time that I get when my baby's sleeping. And when I started connecting deep with myself, I understood that there's a part of me who's also wanting my time more than everyone on the outside who's, so much more demanding for my time. I also need my time. That's my sacred pause that I take. And if I'm able to take that time with myself,
Mm.
I'm now able to
Mm.
figure out what is the emotion that I'm going through. If I'm feeling stressed, if I'm feeling irritated, I
Absolutely.
understand that, okay, maybe I take a couple of mindful breaths, just maybe in that moment when I'm cooking and I feel that, my body is going through certain pain, and I use the power of my breath to transmute
Absolutely.
that pain
Awesome.
into something more pleasuresome.
So
There you go.
Yeah. So it it really helped me in that first 6 months to 8 months, and it also gave me more support to understand that this is a beautiful journey. But without you being fully present into this process, you may not be able to give everything to your little one. So that added so much more
Awesome, awesome, yeah.
motivation, a
That's
drive
so very
that I
true and so
just
very
kept
real, right?
going on and on
So
and
it's
on.
not just for this, if not for this Insta Live, I would have not known this part from you guys. So I'm sure even the audience are able to relate. I've got some comments, good comments and good feedback from the previous lives that even the people who come as a guest, they also, it's like become a therapeutic for them. And even the audience felt really relatable. It's because we're talking what we went through based on our experience. The wisdom is that's why emotional intelligence, when you touched upon those emotions, we're actually using our intelligence to be able to control those emotions and not let them loose. So that is exactly why I think as a woman, it's important, even more important, to have that emotional intelligence in you and know all these tactics. So in essence, the keywords again from Suji would be more of a self reflection and mindfulness pause, right? It could be from your breath practices, any techniques related to deep breathing, or it could be just to understand what you need at that point of time. You know, a mental state of your mind. Just take every like half an hour or 30, 40 minutes, just take a break and just have a self check-in, right? Acknowledge yourself what you're doing. So nice. And in the interest of your all of our audience, like because we are doing as a combined Insta live, your audience may not know about me. So on these incidents, if I have to share, it's there are a lot of stories, but what I like to identify a common pattern thread in all three of us is the burnout, and because of doing and not being, I developed certain autopilot patterns instead of me going through those scenarios, because I've also been through the place where nursing during the nursing time, milk stopped. That was that's the most emotional hit a mother can have, a young mother can have. So I've been through it, and I know where exactly you stand also. At that point of time, the support that we expected was not available. That is another hit, right? When we are young mother, we are getting into an unknown zone with a lot of expectations at heart. When things are not happening, emotionally we are hit. That we are not realizing it. And now adding to it, we don't have this emotional vocabulary also as to understand what kind of feelings that we are going through, emotions that we are going through. So that's a huge gap because we were not educated on that. And now, second important or follow up activity that is happening right after we lack this emotional vocabulary in us is something that we are getting into an autopilot pattern. We just assume that who we are and we ignore the other side of our part of life, that is to take care of our emotions. We just become dormant, to it. And now what happens is, because of this lack of awareness, it's getting into a autopilot pattern. That's what happened to me. And I realized I couldn't realize, even despite of life throwing me similar situations. And now, having got this knowledge of being a certified, internationally certified emotional intelligence, I'm also supposed to practice. Even my master coaches. So that's why EQ is always can be developed and learned. It's never a saturation point. It's never a mastery point at all. Because human beings hold emotions, and human beings go through a lot of stages, ups and downs. So it evolves. And that being said, this is a journey that self awareness has to be going on for like all stages of life. It's like self awareness and then be able to manage themselves. So when I hit that autopilot pattern, life has to really hit me so hard. You know, I was really sent out of my own house, and there were similar incidents in my own associations. That level of that need was not there. So that hit me even more hard to understand, okay, why is this pattern happening? That's when I started realizing it's more to do inward. Because if this is like a pattern, it is happening, there's something deep within us. I'm not talking about the spiritual aspect of it, but at least on academic, we have studied, right? Like we have educated ourselves, and now on the surface we can still see there's something wrong, but we are not able to stop, pause, and see what's wrong, and take action, necessary action. So that was a huge hit for me. And now I started looking at a competency called pattern recognition. So it's not something mystical, it's not something it's all learnable. It's just like how mindfulness was, it is also a skill. So when you recognize your patterns, it tells you a lot of data point, whether you need to logically approach this or emotionally approach this, because we are dealing with people. And even if you're an individual contributor, if you're living alone, you still have emotions inside you. So that was a breakthrough point, that after that, everything fell in place beautifully well. In fact, if that does not happen to me, this wisdom would have not come to me, maybe for lifetimes, we don't know. So it is that very important that we need to be able to recognize those patterns also. So each and every life that I speak, we got so much things to speak about emotional intelligence and the need in women. So I think it's my privilege that every time I come for live, I can pick up each stories and then each competencies which helped me to be who I am right now. So on that note, thank you so much for patiently listening, and I'm sure this will also help you. So keywords are recognize your autopilot patterns, but before which you should be able to recognize what are you going through. So have a self check-in like every 30, 40 minutes, or at least morning, afternoon, evening before you go to bed. Have a self check-in. What were your mental and emotional state of mind? Not just the task completion or your achievements. It's also something to do with your emotional self. How did you carry yourself? Were you happy than yesterday? Simple check. If not, then you better note down what are those which stopped you, because it's not going to end there. You really have to decode. That's how you can crack your autopilot pattern as well. So thank you again. Now I want to
Vrinda,
go back to my guest. What's that?
thank you so much for sharing your story. It's very powerful and I believe very enlightening also that way. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's only because we share our vulnerabilities. It's always powerful, whether it is coming from me or you or from anybody.
Very
So I think this Insta Live is actually serving the purpose for that too. The next question for you guys uh, is there any one superpower you think that women today is not able to recognize or undervalue that? If that is so, give us that one superpower. I'm sure it should have been a superpower in you also. So, what will that be?
well. Should I go first?
Go ahead.
Right. Actually, when I was thinking about this, I came up with two, but I'll
Yes, yes,
focus
please
on this
do.
first one because I believe the second one is the mastermind in that. So, apart from emotional intelligence, I believe is super important, and I believe we'll touch more upon that. I believe women have this superpower of attention to detail. So, I've noticed this a lot when I interact with my guy friends that they know, like broad aspect, this, talk, and then like fly off with it. And why attention to detail is a superpower is because it allows you to have huge impacts with the smallest of a shift. And I believe as a student, as a woman, as a teacher, as really any role I have to play in life, just having that, having just paying attention to the detail about why something is happening and why something is not happening, especially on the emotional front, small shift in like that detail, that if you can pick up that detail, you will instantly know where to change things. So like for example, just taking example from the stories that we have shared so far, on the aspect of it, we just feel like there's no support, it's so draining, it's so burning out, and why is all of this happening to me? And the attention to detail, I mean, I believe a lot of men end up not realizing this until major things happen, because that happens because there one is there the emotional part of women helps us connect and support each other, and I believe a lot of men are not able to have these kind of conversations with each other. And second is the attention to detail, that okay, all of this is happening and all of this can become better if I just make the small shift of checking in with myself, or if
Mm.
I realize that the detail is that I am not checking in with myself, and big things are happening that are just so draining. So that attention to detail can shift so many things, and I believe
Mm.
that's such a good power to have. So
Mm.
it's lovely. I mean, when I can look at this giant thing and just got this one small detail that'll help me turn the entire thing around. I'm a woman. I can do this.
That's so nice. Yeah, that is a superpower. But on a lighter note, Arushi, because we are married, I think we have the privilege to say and quote. I think that could be one of the reason for killer conversations between husband and wife, because the wife gets to remember everything in the past. All right. Just because we are able to give attention to everything. I know Suji is laughing, so she can relate. And I'm sure all the audience, married women, can also relate. The husbands, especially the men, will definitely vouch. Yes, that is a superpower. And if only we are able to balance out, how much of it is needed, especially when we are dealing with a relationship
Mhm.
during a conversation, right? the intention behind using that superpower is also important. Are we using that superpower to, hold each other accountable, having a healthy discussion, or knock each other down is something that we have to be, just on a lighter note. But yeah, it is. It does. Like everybody has a different brain style according to our brain skills, logical and creative brain, right? Both the hemisphere. And as a doctor, you must be watching for this too. So we dominantly, so based on our habits and patterns, we use this either side of it dominatingly. So each of us has a defined brain style that we work with. So people who give attention to the details are more logically driven, but apparently it's something that women do. And I heard, I came to know when we are part of a emotional intelligence network, people, we use AI tools. When a survey happened that back in 2016 something, when I got introduced to it, we were told that Indian women are more logically driven.
And just
That
imagine
is
all of that chatter about, oh, you're so emotional. Oh, why don't you give it a rest?
that was so amusing for me. And when I took my brain style, I was like hitting my head. So there are different ways that you can categorize the logical brain. Also, I'm like, I'm more into a logical, brain. So that's where I'm talking about the self component. There are two components when you deal with emotions: self and others, right? Always. That self was not there. It's always about others. So
Yeah. I will.
we want to, that's where we build that masculine brain of giving structure, discipline, and all that for others, but those things were absent for us. So that's the, I think, that just on a lighter note, but yeah, it definitely is a superpower for anybody for that
It's a
matter.
big
And
takeaway. How you talk about autopilot and structure and logic. It's like, using this, like, obviously, at the end of the day, man, woman, anyone, any gender you identify with, at the end of the day, your intentions count for everything. Your intention, your right, everything. And we can, and if you can use any superpower, right, intentions, and you can use the most masculine or the most feminine of your aspects the right way, you make everyone's life.
absolutely true. Not just having the superpower, but also a combination of why you're
Definitely,
doing what you're doing.
everything.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Nice. Suji, your turn.
For me, I would say it is all women have it. And for me, when I look a little beyond this physical body and mind, it is about your deep inner knowing. There are many a times, I'm sure many women or men also, when they're listening to this, they may resonate that how many times have you felt that I wanted to say a no and I went and said a yes? This is something which, as women, we do, especially as Indian women, we do it a lot. Because from our childhood, we have been taught to be behind the man, to be behind someone who's superior. So always the woman, the girl who's growing to be a woman, she's programmed in a way that even if she would be logical, she's emotional, she has that leadership skill in her. She has that power, innate power in a very compassionate way, not of a dictatorship, but more of compassionate leadership. And she knows that I can take this, I can work on this, I can own it up, I can lead this. But sometimes, when all these programmings has been done from the childhood, she feels that would I be able to do this? And she gets into a self-doubt, a self-pity mode, feeling sad that I don't know if it turns out to be a failure. What would people say? Would I be blamed? Would I be questioned? Would I be looked
Absolutely.
down? And that takes a toll on a woman's life. Whereas it's so simple that if you just go deep down
Mhm.
connecting with your spirit or with your inner self, we call it the gut consciousness. You feel it inside that I just want to do this. I just want to step out of this place. I just don't want to have this conversation with this person because it's only causing me toxicity. But still, we end up sitting there, listening to everything, taking in from that person. and then
Absolutely.
feel so regretful that I wish I had done this. But the moment we are able to step into our zone and say, hey, I don't think I need to listen to all this because it makes me feel very hurtful from the inside. So maybe once when you are in a good state of mind, we can come back on a neutral pace and have this conversation happening again, but not at this moment. And that would also give a peace of mind to that person to understand
Mm-hmm.
that how much does
Absolutely.
my self-respect
Lovely.
or my life
So,
matters to
in
me.
essence, saying no is not a weakness, right? It's a sign of strength. And if we had known this earlier, or if we are skilled at it, I don't think we would have gone through those struggles that we had. So, if only. But again, that's what is defining us who we are right now. But at least after those
Yes,
struggles, maybe after this Insta life. So this could be a golden treasure that people, audience can pick up. I'm just going to pick up the keywords alone. So it's important to say no, and it's important to stop when you have to, right? And that's the skill that we need to develop, especially in this day and age. And it's not just for a woman, it's also for any human being for that matter, even for a child. And saying no just to ease with the audience, it's not going to happen overnight. We got to go through a lot of, at least personally, I went through a lot of guilt, right? Before saying no and after saying no.
And
So I really have to, I have to really come out of that guilt ride as a mom, as a daughter-in-law, or as a daughter, as a woman, as a coach. Even my own community ladies, come up with the same common problems. Problems are common. Angle and degree is going to be different. But the only thing which can, keep us emotionally fit is only be able to set boundaries, and for which we need to be able to say no. So on that note, I think I can't agree with you more, Suji. And I think we are talking about the
indefinitely.
same common thread, right? Burnout. And for you to come out of burnout, whether any walks of life, for any gender or any age across the world, you need to be able to take this skill set in you, right? So I'm actually running out of question. I thought I'll ask you some, strategies which worked for you really well in your work or life, and then now we've already transitioned that question. So I'm going to ask you. In fact, I'm going to say a big hi to a big list of people. Oh my God! Okay, with your permission, guest, I'm just going to skim through. Suchi, Choka, Teja, sorry, butchering your name, sorry, Peaceful Parenting Path, Innovative Reading, Express. Oh, there we go. We know these people. Selvan, Jack Sparrow, Sunil, Utkarsh, hello there. Dr. Rishi, I know it's from Arushi's community. Subhash and Subhash Bhaskaran Parul. Okay, Trishali, hello there. Anuraki, Nikash Karthik, Balakrishna, you know them, right, Arshi? We got some hearts while you guys were speaking also. I don't know from whom. Dr. Muskan, Karthik, Dr. Pratyaksha Verma, Anirudh, um, Sneha, Sanjesh, Anand, Akash, Sanjesh again, and Refna with a lot of A. Okay, Samantha from all the way US, Rush Rosh. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Raghav. Hi, Pooja. Hi, Esther. Dr. Vishalar Vind. Okay. And then I don't know. Discover my true self. Ooh. Bhavna, Jakiran, Anand, Ganesh Music, Vishwa, Lees, Mindset Coach, Arif, Devansh. Ooh, look at that. So much of love and support. All right. So I'm going to go back to my guest. And before I let you go, two more questions. One, give us one best practice it could be a ritual that you practice, or it could be a weapon, secret weapon that you have for you to always rebound. It could be an anchor that you use that only you know. But I want to spill it out for our audience, especially for women, whom, maybe it could be, your coaching community that you have seen this successfully helping your own people. Tell us some that one successful mantra that you have in the form of a practice or a ritual that women can go through to be able to navigate these kind of challenges. I know I'm squeezing your brain.
No,
There you go.
our pleasure to share this. Also, there's a comment there I can see. Mindset coach Arif says, "Did I do the right thing?" So I believe this person is addressing to the kind of doubts and self chatter that comes in once you take a stand for yourself. And I would just like to address this. I would like to quote one of
Yes.
a very famous coach called Pooja Puneet. Like my mom was listening to her the other day, and she said this very powerful line, stuck with me. She's like, when you disappoint others, when you take a stand for yourself, you'll end up disappointing others.
Mm.
Got to be comfortable. You got to learn to be comfortable in living in that discomfort of disappointing others. Gotta
How powerful. Would you like to repeat again?
Yes, I would definitely love to say that. So, Pooja Puneet, she said this, that when you're a woman or anyone, when you say no, you disappoint others. So, you got to learn to live comfortably in that zone of disappointing others, because that's the only way you can live peacefully. Otherwise, you end up just living for one expectation to another expectation, one hope to another hope, and you end up draining yourself. So, it may or may not, the right thing changes from person to person, perspective to perspective. Everything can be wrong or right. If it is the right thing for you and you put your foot down for it, it is the right thing. So even if it is making others uncomfortable, it's okay. You did it for yourself, and be proud of it and live with it. And slowly,
Mm.
initially it's hard, but
I know.
slowly we become powerful people.
Ooh, there we go. Powerful one, man.
I was
Thank you.
I was not even actively, like, it was just playing in the
Oh,
background, and I was like, damn, when I heard that line. So now back to your question about the self-care mantra, or what I say, like, my superpower. I mean, I thought a lot about this, and it basically comes down to something that has been my favorite thing over years, like since teenager, I would say. I've been realizing it and refining it all my life so far, and that is having the right morning. So if I can wake up, have the right kind of morning, that's not scrolling through my phone, or it's not just passing time, or it's not procrastinating waking up or going back to sleep. If I can wake up and have a good morning, and that good morning is not like, okay, good morning, then I have a ritual where I write down this. First is to have to do 10 to 15 minutes of breathing. The breathing pattern I follow is by a yoga coach that Suji herself recommended, that's Saurabh Bothra. So I looked him up. So 15 minutes of breathing energizes the body, and then you do the game pattern. G is your gratitude. So
Mm.
you down or think about the things you're grateful for. That can be anything from your mobile phone, your bed, to your opportunities, to your mentor, anyone in life. Gratitude. A is your affirmations. Affirmation is like, okay, like you aspire to become someone and to achieve certain things. Think about them, write them down in a way that they're already in the present. That I am magnet of miracles, or I am a successful surgeon, or I have successfully cleared my entrances, for that matter. So anything it is, affirm that it's already happened. M is your manifestation. Manifestation is, again, things you want to achieve in life, it powerfully. And E is the energy. So after you're done with this, visualize. First, manifestation also comes with the visualization aspect, that
Yes.
whatever is your absolute self. So I aspire to be, maybe I want 10 caps on my head happily. I aspire to be that absolute version of myself. Visualize that person in the present, how that person feels, how that person looks, how that person conducts themselves. And then you go to the E. E is the energy. And the easiest way
Yes.
to put energy into a morning Get up, do 10 jumping jacks, and then get set with the day. If you
Mm.
have put a right intention that today I intend to. And this is not about a temporary goal that, okay, today I intend to finish a chapter or something. It's like, today I intend to fulfill my commitments. Today I intend to prioritize my inner peace. Today I intend to regain my power. Today I intend to do something difficult out of my comfort zone. Set an intention for the day. And when you intentionally live your day, you automatically are a little more in touch with yourself instead of operating on the autopilot that we previously spoke about. And
Absolutely, absolutely.
and I've realized if I do not have the right morning, halfway through the day I'm like, this day is wasted. And so yeah, I don't you don't like that. But if you start your morning well, if you have like this power packed morning, your entire day just automatically, it reaps better results. It reaps better results in the form of satisfaction. That is my
Super.
I've just I'm in love with it. I mean, I recommend it to everyone in my community to do this. I teach it outright that how to go about each step. So yeah, it's super powerful. I would recommend
So game, right?
game.
Game. So we need to remember game, and such a game changer tip, huh? So we're gonna
And
remember
the
this.
mnemonic itself was recommended to me by one of my team members from my community. But like it was like things I'm doing put into this one very powerful mnemonic that was a game changer indeed. So yeah, I would like to shout out to that person also. His name is Pavan, and yep, super. It's a game, definitely.
Nice, nice. I know being a doctor, it's a lot of work, right? It's not just with your individual, it's also about servicing for others. And it's all the more important to be grateful and then whatever you're saying, manifestation, affirmation, and all that, very important. And you so nicely packed it up, huh? So we'll remember this game
And I,
changer, man. Super. Thanks.
my
All right. So, Suji, what do you have for us?
Yes, I'm totally, what you say, I'm totally captivated with everything that Arushi was mentioning. Like it really took me into that
Manifestation,
journey of,
energy.
gratitude, affirmations, manifestations, and envisioning. Yeah. So it's so beautiful, and what I reflect that back into my life is having said everything,
very
life
well said.
is not always interesting. That is the bottom truth.
Mm,
If all of us can accept, life becomes much more easier. Because for me, when we go through different
absolutely.
situations in life, and it's not always a bed of roses. Challenges come, disgusting moments come, humiliating moments come. It's all a part and parcel of life, not to break us down, but to build us up. So for me, this one quote, has always been my game changer, which is any difficult situation, like
Absolutely.
as long as it's a happy moment, I don't need any mantras. I only need gratitude. But when it is a difficult moment, all I say to myself, that the little identity that I hold inside, I keep
Mm,
saying that everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Now, if it's a moment which is giving me stress, that energy gets transmuted into trust. I trust that higher
mm,
consciousness. I trust those universal energies that I am guided. I am divinely guided to come out of the situation. Maybe I'm going through this, difficult conversation with this person because I might not have learned how to set
mm,
boundaries with myself. And now this situation is teaching me how to do it. If this didn't happen, I might have gone through
absolutely.
multiple falls, even worst ones, and hurt myself brutally. But a small thing like universe or the higher consciousness, whomever we believe in, it's not there to punish you.
Mm,
It's there to always guide you progressively so that you move ahead in your life. So when a situation happens, am I ready to accept it? That's very, very important. And given any situation, like I keep telling this to my clients, my community, that no matter what you're going through, it could sound difficult today, but 5 years forward, when you look back at this moment, you will laugh at it.
Absolutely.
And you will know that,
When
it
you
was
connect
just
back the
making me
dots,
a better person.
it always makes sense. That's how life is, designed, right? Suji, when we were talking, 2 points just clicked on my mind. One is, I think, 2 months back. That's how we connected, right? I was back in US and you just gave some text messages, and now we are here. Maybe some kind of a guidance, right? I never
Yes.
expected doing an Insta live, coming here, and so thank you so much for doing that. If not for your message, would have not ended up like this, right?
Totally. It's all this entire setup where we have reached until now, where we are all together. It's all divinely guided. So
Um,
I believe
very,
more than anything on this
very true,
energy,
very
it
true.
really
And
matters a
also,
lot.
on a lighter
The
note, I just
intention
remembered an incident I
matters a
was
lot.
talking, sharing with my daughter. So we had taken her to MMI, financial literacy skills. Okay. So as a family, we did that. It was a game changer for all three of us. After that, talking about finance or talking about money is never a very heavy subject at home. It's always an excitement. Now, once she was finding it very difficult to appear for a back in US, it's a lot of test and they relax in the elementary, but then in mid school they just dump everything on you. So she's really feeling very hard, and the transition from elementary school to mid school itself is huge on the child and as well as the parent. They just open up the entire the so-called adulthood world. Like they got to be on their own for everything, time management, a lot of organization skills among them. So she was like feeling so much hard to study her own favorite subject, but then she has other things to also manage. So she was in that spot as to why should I do something like which I don't like to. And then we were doing something, and Facebook video popped up with Robert Kiyosaki, the person who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he's a master's of master, who was, gotten all the wisdom that we have gone through in Success Gyan. And then journalist is asking, so tell me, how do you handle so many things? Do you, it started off with that book and all, right? So do you really like writing books? Are you so passionate about all that thing? So me and my daughter were expecting something, the Gyan talk, right? And she was like, really? Who likes to write books, man? Books writing is so boring. I hate to do it, but I still do it. You know why? Because my vision is to build multiple source of income, and I want to serve a lot of people. If I want to serve a lot of people, I need a lot of money. And if I need a lot of money, I might as well do what even I don't like to do. So now looking at this, my my daughter said, okay, I'm done taking cash. That's it. So yeah. So connecting back to what
You
we want to say is
got your answer. Amazing.
we do that. Okay, as a woman, we all do that, and it's important to do what's needed. If even if you don't like it, whether we like to say no or not, whether we don't like to say no or not, if it's needed to serve, conserve your energy, time, focus, money, resources, people, just do it anyways.
I
So
would
I think,
add a couple of quotes here if I can.
yeah,
Uh,
go ahead.
so right, like while Suji was talking, 2 points popped up in my head also. So
Go ahead.
about specific thing, like one of the most powerful self-help books I've ever read is Atomic Habits, and I mean it was a life-changing book. I would recommend it to everyone. So
Yes.
in that, like while he's the entire book is decoded, okay, how to install a habit, how to not, da, 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 da. At the end of it, the last part of the book is at the end of the day, the people who are successful are the ones who turn up for the boring days anyway. When you can keep doing the reps can get boring, but if you keep turning up for the boring things, that's how you win. That's how you get beyond them, you get past that. So I was like, because I am someone with like, and I believe a lot of people in my generation also very transient attention span. We get bored very easily. But that quote and now this conversation also, it's a reinstilled the belief that boring stuff is the resistance itself. It's not like the stuff loses interest. It's like it's a new hurdle for you to follow. It's to go past. So definitely boring things, pain, struggle, all these things are as it's all a divine plan. I mean, pain helps you become powerful. And
And
secondly,
it's, yeah.
she said, so it's the pain, right? That you have to go through it and like to reach that. So to sum it up in this beautiful quote I read, I don't even remember when. Grow through what you go through. I'll say that again.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
through what you go through. So no
Mm.
matter what pain, struggle comes to you, if you look at it, if you're open to, sometimes I have written gratitude. I am thankful that I went through this very XYZ horrible thing in life. Or I'm grateful that I had such a bad day yesterday. Because at the end of it, it helped me connect with this higher power in myself. Because over life, you the qualities you really love about yourself that you feel proud of, they are born out of times when it was a pure struggle without them. So
Awesome, awesome,
teach us to become this best version of ourselves.
awesome.
So grow through what you go through. So
Oh, that's also a powerful quote. Yeah, you seem to have a lot of, treasure right there outside. All right. So, touching upon the boring, I think getting bored is important part
Yes.
of brain growth.
yes,
uh, you are a young lady, young daughter, you have a miles to go. But as a parent, me and Suji can vouch that you will get to know this statement from your child when when you go through this pass through the journey that I'm bored, I'm bored. We were all the time bored, and it helped us grow. But this day and age kids, they are not bored. They are constantly busy. I think getting bored is a precious thing. On that note, it's just a parental
if
instinct is coming out
you
from me. But
deep, and I can vouch for it from your perspective on the other side because I am the kid right now, and
uh,
my mom's like, "Why are you not doing that?" I'm bored. So I mean, I am that kid who does get bored, but there is
good, good.
it's boring because as you said, people are so busy these days. I am so busy, I sometimes don't have time for my own family when I'm doing like have to be this. So you realize there is beauty in boredom, the beauty in simply sitting and doing nothing. So if we learn to accept that, we can really live every moment for what it is.
There, Suji and me are going, mom now. She's got a lot of things,
Absolutely. Yeah.
right?
No, I totally bow down to whatever she's saying because it is so resonating because my son is in his teens. He's like 15. And the moment he tells me that, it's so boring. I don't have anything to do. I'm feeling so bored. And and I'm like, I only give him this magic trick that, you know, getting bored or being bored is a beautiful luxury. And he used to wonder, like, what's Mama saying? Like, Mama, please give me the phone or the laptop. And I'm like, no, just reflect on this. Being bored is a luxury. And and then he goes, he sits with something, and then he comes out with a beautiful artwork or a
Mm.
craft work, or he
Okay.
would have took up his Lego pieces, assembled and made something out of it. And then I ask him, okay, you said a couple of minutes back you were bored. How does it feel now? He's like, that took me inside. Like, that just made me being more creative. Like, if you had to give me the phone, I would have just kept scrolling some YouTuber, watching some video, and I might not have learned something, but it just took me to a creative mode. So I'm like, this is your superpower. So every time you get bored, think universe is giving you a break away from everything just to connect to yourself. It could be going and cycling,
Mm.
playing, or gardening, or cooking, or sweeping, cleaning. Like
Correct.
he does everything.
I know the
And he
digital
uses
gadgets
all
just
his
takes over
boredom,
everything,
channels
man.
his
The golden
energy to do all
moments
this work.
or those times where we will figure out what is passion in us, what is a superpower in us, and all that, and we will build relationship and friendships only because we were bored. That's a huge gap now. I'm going to quickly say a hi to a lot of people
Very
again.
much.
Arsenal,
Yes.
Dr. Shubhashri,
So
Suma,
true.
hi Suma, Naveen Kumaran, I am Suman, Ashwath, hi, Milton, Niesan, okay, Mihesam, all right, Dhruva Kashyap, Prachi, and okay, Farha Disalan. Hello, thank you so much, and I'm just going to leave my guest with last one question because that's more important for me, especially the theme is for that. And my audience will also be liking to hear that from you. After all, the fun that we had, we cracked a lot of, the reality that we had with each other. Just going to ask the one last question. As a woman, what's that one quality that you don't want to let go? This is it. That's the lifetime gift that I've been bestowed upon. It could be one word, or it could be a couple of words that you as a woman, because a lot of us wear different roles and responsibilities as a woman. From any stage of womanhood, you might have, known your. It could again be your superpower, but something that as a woman, that quality you don't want to let go. With that, I will let you go. But
I'll let Suji take this one first. I'll reflect a little
you're
bit.
thinking, do that for us. Suji, go ahead.
Yes. For me, as you asked, the one and only word that comes to me mostly is forgiveness. It's about, I know this is going to hit hard on many people because as women, we're very, very harsh on ourselves most of the times.
Mm.
We don't see what all we have done for people, we only see what we missed out. Even if in a day, like I might have done a lot of things for my son, I would pick and choose things what I didn't do. I would judge myself, I would
Mm.
criticize myself, I would hurt myself. And that leaves me with a
Mm.
disturbing sleep. This used to happen constantly until I caught myself doing this. And that is when
Mm.
I went deep down into myself and I read a book by Osho. It's called The Intimacy of Love. And I understood that if I'm not able to
Absolutely.
forgive myself, I wouldn't be able to forgive anyone else.
Mm.
So it's about forgive yourself what you might have wronged. Forgive yourself what others have wronged to you. Forgive yourself for things that you have told people. Forgive yourself for what people have told you.
Mm.
Forgive for every painful moment that you put yourself through. Forgive others for what they put you through. Because the moment we learn to forgive, we activate the next superpower in us, where we become so much more kind and compassionate that it's okay. If someone has not done anything for you, even though you
With them,
expected, you're
I'm happy.
absolutely fine with it.
Awesome.
Because now the power doesn't lie with them. You
Mm.
take your
And you
powers
don't want
back.
to let go. Very nice.
And
Very nicely
that
put.
is a
So
game
thank you
changer
so
for me
much, Suji.
always. And it's always about, you know, it's not me about holding on to anything,
Mm.
including my son. I know there comes a day when I need to let go of him, and I'm already preparing myself for it. I am ready to just let myself loose, that whatever comes, just
Mm.
embrace these moments, because nothing, no one is going to stay with you forever. So learning that art of forgiving, just letting go,
Absolutely.
is
So
itself
the
so
let go
much
theory is
more of a
important,
peace that you're making
right?
with yourself.
Letting go can happen when you can step into that forgiveness mode, which is very, very natural for a woman. I think with that, I'll take that bit from you and I will go to Arushi. Have you gathered some
Yes.
thought
I
process?
I did. And before I begin, I would just like to tell Sid that I'm taking this back with me. I'm gonna go back and apply it like today, right after this
Mm,
live. So thank you so much
mm,
for sharing. I hope everyone finds value in it like I just did.
mm,
And superpower for me, um, I would say it's the emotional intelligence, maturity and emotional intelligence. Because I believe there is so much hurt and so much dissatisfaction in the world. And a lot of it roots in communication, and that communication roots in emotions. So a lot of
mm,
people I find like they are not able to communicate what there are people I have seen where there are conversations where both the people are on the same side of the coin, but the way it's coming across when they do not understand that emotion behind it, when they do not understand the other person's intention, their own priority, their own emotional priority in the situations, they end up not liking each other. They don't realize
mm,
them are on the same page of things. And so as a woman I have realized that as you go through life, this the fact that you can feel deeply, the
mm,
fact that you can understand emotions, you can understand that okay, even if this person is acting out right now or just being all angry, it is coming from a place of, or it is coming from a place,
insecurities.
yeah, they are
There is.
able to just be kind to themselves before they
Mm,
can be kind to just understand that emotional maturity, and it makes life so much easier because
mm,
you don't have to get involved in unnecessary conflicts anymore when you realize that it's not personal half the time. And even if it is, you have the emotional maturity to be like that whatever this person is saying, I can let go and rise beyond it because as Suji said, it is for me. I forgive myself, I forgive this person, and just knowing those emotions, being able to feel, being able to discern, how that thin line where things can go right and wrong. I believe it's beautiful, and I've been told a lot in my life that you're wise beyond your years, or you grew up early, or whatever it is. I would not
mm,
change that for the world because all of that growing up, all of that maturity, that emotional intelligence, that made my life easier. The more I've had,
mm.
the more at peace I am. So
Awesome.
emotions, the ones that are being frowned, like women are frowned upon for that, for crying or being angry or expressing their emotions, I would never let it go. It it's the superpower. It's in so many terms. It really puts you ahead. It puts you in the right place if you know how to understand and navigate through them.
Oh, look at you. You're already eligible, man. Eligible spinster, man. Eligible, eligible, all the way. Okay, and it's so lovely to hear that you both are again going back to emotional intelligence, the need and importance of emotional intelligence in women. That's even more nice to hear, and it is even more important need of the hour. So, with my, I just want to let both of you combine, and then I think the bedrock of that quality of a woman, natural quality is compassion, right? Compassionate to others. The only bifurcation that, as an emotional intelligence coach, that I would like to, whatever I've gone through, based on that experience and wisdom, that's what I'm teaching my community people, women especially, is that just have that one bifurcation that it is always anything is always self and others. So
Hmm.
similarly, for compassion, uh, what's working for me, and I don't want to let go because after a long hit, long time, I've got this wisdom in me that I can still be compassionate for others when I'm self-compassion, and I can also be unapologetically compassionate because the only thing that held me back is the guilt. You know, guilt, right, is something that we are not able to let go, right? So if I have to break that, this one thing really helped me. I'm not letting go of my compassionate, that quality in me, but I can still be unapologetically compassionate, which means I don't have to explain.
True.
I really don't have to validate it at all. So with that, I think that will really help other women who are going through certain struggles
Wow.
which they have not been able to speak it out, or something that they're not able to share. A lot of things we cannot share.
True.
Vulnerabilities is not easy to share, and being vulnerable is foundation for it being emotional intelligence, starting with ourselves. So, on that note, I should thank you guys coming and sharing all your vulnerabilities, and I'm sure even the audience will relate. Do you have any gifts for our audience? If that is so, then what will that be?
Well, if there's anyone in the audience watching who wants to, you know, optimize their performance, like I predominantly work with medical students. So if there's anyone who wants to, who resonated with what I'm talking about, what I teach in my community is all about, optimizing your performance in a way that, you are emotionally fulfilled. Because I believe fulfillment and satisfaction is the route to having a successful outside, you're a satisfied inside. So if anyone's interested, if anyone resonates with that, please join my webinar. It's happening on Wednesday. The link to register is in my bio, so it's absolutely free. Come, let's have a good time, let's interact, and let's see what we can make work for you. So the
Super.
called the Smart Medics Accelerator, and the link, once again I'll repeat, is in the bio on my Instagram profile. Please come in. I would love to interact with you and get to know you more in person.
Super cool. All those young girls and boys who are aspirant doctors and who wants to do something more than what you are actually doing. I think to go person will be Dr. Arishi. Link is there in her bio, and DM her, okay? And also share this conversation with as many as people so that they can grab that gift. I think you will keep it open till this month end or within a week, or what's your timeline?
Right now, the first webinar that's happening is scheduled for this Wednesday,
Mm.
but this webinar once again in the coming week. So if you can get in right now, it'll be amazing, because this is the time I'll be giving even more attention to everyone. So as and when we saturate, it might not be the same experience, but it's
Mm.
going to be open for anyone who wants to, elevate their performance and be the kind of doctor that you wish your family always had. If you want to,
Awesome.
like, it's my
Super.
heartfelt request. For me, it's not just about good patient care, or it's not just about yourself. It's about making both work to their optimal level.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Suji, for you, do you, do you have anything for our audience?
Yes, for me, yeah, for me, what I would say, my listeners or everyone who's listening into it and resonating with my energies, that share this live or this session with maybe at least 3 to 5 people, especially females in your life, because maybe it turns out to be a game changer. Maybe they find their answers to the unsaid questions. And once you do that, DM me. I would love to have a call with you personally to understand what kind of a person you are. And if you need any personal guidance or any support, you can book a clarity call with me. The link is in my profile bio. So, but before you DM me for the clarity call, I would like you to share this video with 3 to 5 people, especially the 5 females in your life who really matter to you. And then we would connect on a call. So it's
Very
more
nice.
about, the
Nicely put.
giving and receiving
Gee,
of the
thank you so
energy, what
much.
I
And for
totally
my
believe in.
audience and for your audience also, I also have a gift where I'm offering for women who can automate their life and business using emotional intelligence and leveraging digital media. Because that's where I come from. The mistakes, whatever mistakes I've done all these 6, 7 years back in US or in India in terms of relationship or business, personal development, I have certain strategies that I can share with women for this month. It's totally free. There's going to be a workshop at the end of this month where I'll share some powerful strategies both for business development and personal development using emotional intelligence. So thank you. But I just have to tell another set of people a big hi. Sona Thakur, Anu, uh, Aitni, okay, Sony, Shivam, 24/11, I think it's their birthday. Hasya, Indu, Balaram, Anuj, Energy. So Shivam 24/11, if that's your birthday, that's the same for me too. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. And like Suji said, please share this, right? It's important. There could be unspoken things in women's life. If you are a man out there, please do share it with your women, dear ones, and also share it with somebody who has to listen to this, who needed this most. And we are all there. All three of us are available in our own. You can refer our details in the bio, and make use of the space and time, and always reach us in specific our DMs for any specific questions that you may not want to let it out. So on that note, it's been overboard, but I would never ever feel so, because it's so lively, and it's important to just come and talk like this. Yeah, I mean, nothing other ways to express this gratitude to for you and for your audience. Okay, thank you
Just
so much.
each other, we actually, like you said, when you share it with other people, like our mentor Blair Singer, he was in one of his trainings, he was like, how many of you got your breakthroughs as audience? So just
Mhm.
someone talk, you can change their life. So by sharing this conversation, you may not even realize that you might be helping so many women just live happier. So
Mm,
that's why I just want to re-propagate that. Please do share it with people who need it. And even if you don't see they need it, share it, because you may never even know who needs what.
I
And
know.
sorry for that comment. And
So I'm going to read the comment. More power to you all. Thank you for your time. It was good to see two of my good friends to speakers on this call. Thanks again. Thank you so much. Karishma, hi. Uh, the other person, IHT, Shakti, hi. It's also the audience, right? We're grateful for this
yeah,
level of participation and patience from your, all of our audience. That's also had, been the highlight of this
Totally.
entire conversation. Thank you. We're going to meet again sometime, right? We'll keep in touch.
Yes.
All
stay tuned
right.
for Instagram. See a lot of
Yeah.
useful content. And so, yes,
Yes.
if you want to ever
Definitely.
tune back into this energy, any one of our profiles, and we always hope that we can serve you better. Thank you for
Yes.
being here.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank
You too. You
you.
too.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you,